Okay, so with your amendments, you're supposed to propose an amendment. Okay. Explain what your proposed amendment will do. Explain why you believe it is needed and how the nation will benefit if it is ratified. Indicate what opposition you expect there will be your amendment and why. Suggest arguments that could be used to reply to criticism of your amendment. So there we go. There we go. So we're going to work our way around the room here. I'm going to write these proposed amendments up as we're going through them. So as you're explaining it, obviously use your activity as reference. You should have just labeled all of these points here, okay, as you're creating or proposing your amendment. All right, Lex, what do you have?
So for amendment, I did limiting Congress's terms, allowing people to make certain decisions, and adapting certain, I guess you could say, common knowledge and all that to people's beliefs, because I do think that some people's beliefs have changed, as well as with genders and all that. So it's different.
So limiting Congress terms, is that where you're first? Okay, that's what you're proposing. All right, so, well, why are you proposing this? Because congressmen kind of
I feel like
over.
congressmen and women are both in office for too long at times.
Okay.
Some people are making a career, and like you see that they start out nice, some of them do end nicely, but others kind of seems like it changes and deforms from what it should have been to something worse or better depending on the situation.
Okay, all right, yeah. So especially with the House of Representatives or the Senate, okay, many of these congressmen can be elected over and over and over again. This is how some people have a career in politics. Okay, and I know President Biden's been, a senator, Delaware for many years beforehand. So like 40 some years in office. It's like, okay, well, maybe after some time, give someone else an opportunity. But hey, if he's elected over and over again, he's doing something right, I guess, right? But with that being said, yeah, I mean, maybe some of these policies that they've been creating for such a long time, maybe we should look towards a younger, more youthful person. Okay.
Gonna go into the next one then, which is also like.
So why you believe is needed and how the nation will benefit. Okay. So again, new ideas, maybe a new representative from that said state.
Younger people an actual chance to get in office.
Okay.
Position and actually maybe change a couple of things that would do better for our country.
Maybe someone's up to the times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Indicate what opposition you expect. This is from this amendment and why.
Probably would get disregarded and voted by Congress, but as I said,
they're kind of voting on their own, their own livelihood.
Make that decision would help because most people would probably go with it due to the simple fact that a lot of people actually do want to get in Congress, but usually get cheated out of it because
there's not as much popularity, campaign issues, right? Okay, because funding a campaign is a lot of money. And if you're not known by the people, then it's like, let's just keep the same old, same old. Okay. All right. Okay. Suggest arguments that could be replied to your criticism for your amendment. Probably Congress isn't going to vote on this, right? They're going to be like, okay, we want to keep our career paths going here. And I mean, if the people do like that politician, like that congressman, then why not keep them? Okay. All right. Good job, Lex. All right. Bella?
I would probably
the 8th? Oh, okay. Why? Cruel and unusual punishments. All right. So you're saying about like excessive punishments. So like something that might be like murder or rape or something like that. So you're going for like torturing someone maybe. Oh, okay. All right. What, death penalty instantly? Nope. Okay. All right. So you're repealing the 8th Amendment. Holy cow. All right. Okay. All right. So well, explain your proposed amendment. So you kind of did that already, but explain why you believe it's needed and how the nation will benefit if it's ratified. That these crimes aren't tolerated, right? Yeah, and maybe we'll see a benefit and lowering the crime rates, especially with these types of intensified crimes. Yeah. All right, good. Indicate what opposition you might expect.
People definitely
Okay, all right, so let's say depending on how the amendment's written, depending on how you describe it, certain crimes that maybe not as intensified, they could see some jail time, and let's say they stole, a pack of gum or something like that. It's like, oh, come on now, like, this is a little crazy. All right. And suggest arguments that could be used to reply to criticism. So are you going to come up with like a scale, maybe a justification, like a limit or some sort of, I guess, reason behind some of these punishments and what type of punishments meet the crime? And are there going to be discrepancies of that? Like, will the judge try to figure some of that out? Or the jury, I guess, the jury will kind of decide along those lines. Okay. All right. Jeffrey, let's hear it, buddy.
Free universal health care for all Americans.
Oh, all right. I didn't know. For all Americans. Okay. All right. So why are you proposing this amendment?
I know quite a few people with high health bills, and especially with what we went through recently, the pandemic, and healthcare seems to be going through the roof nowadays. I figure free universal healthcare will allow more Americans to have more money in their pockets to spend in the economy. Let's boost the economy and keep people connected.
Okay. All right. So explain why you believe it's needed.
Countries like Canada, Britain, other European countries have very similar systems where they allow free universal health care for all their citizens. And statistically, their health rates and average life expectancies are higher than averages in America cases. So this might increase American life expectancy and increase the population of America.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good work. Good work. Yeah. You did your research on that because that's true. All right. So indicate what opposition you might expect.
They might say, might do the opposite. What about druggies or some system? Yada, yada, yada. While that is true, it will happen with people abusing the system. 9 out of 10 people will not abuse the system and use it for what's truly needed and put money back to the economy in a healthy way.
Well, how are you going to fund it?
Fund it by taking a little bit out of the billions of dollars that we take out of the military summary every single year and put maybe 1 billion instead of 0 into maybe health and providing
What about raising taxes?
small tax raises maybe.
Oh, Jeffrey.
But it's free healthcare.
What about the private sector, like the healthcare that they offer for the people? So like businesses and
Private sectors for the healthcare, they can add benefits, different packages for different employees if they need. They don't need to really provide healthcare at this point, or they can just do away with it because there'll be free universal healthcare. No one will care because they're getting free hospital bills without charge.
all right, so they might come up with new innovative measures with that extra cash on their hands.
Might increase different products, might make health research a little bit more affordable. And
Okay.
maybe easier, maybe even advanced medical research in cancer research or stem cell research.
All right, okay. So what criticisms do you think you're going to get?
People are going to abuse the system, possibly high taxes.
Yeah.
Might take a little bit out of military funding to get
Yeah,
started.
you're going to get some criticism over that, huh? Taxes, eliminating from the military budget.
But in the long term run, it's not going to be that big of a tax hike, and it's not going to be that big of a spending out of the billions of dollars that we take out of the military budget every single year to fund the military when we already have by far the strongest military in the world. 1 or 2 years of us taking maybe $1 billion out just to start this up and get it funded won't really put too much of a dent into it.
Okay. All right, Jeffrey. Good work. Good job. Awesome. Mandy?
I did,
Oh, okay. All right. So you're saying reducing the background check, maybe? Okay. All right. So what do you say? Ammunition. I don't know. Purchasing. There you go. Okay. So you're saying maybe lower the age of buying ammunition. And what else? What else? So why are you proposing this amendment?
maybe some people, like parents, don't want to
Okay, all right. So this might get younger generations involved in the hunting Okay, utilizing weapons and being more informed on them. Okay. All right, maybe. Okay, what else? So what opposition might you have?
You could get, like, you could, like, independent
Okay, so being more independent. All right, so some people might backlash against this saying, oh, well, why are we trying to lower the age of buying ammunition? Okay, maybe letting background checks or clearances, okay, a little bit easier for these people to buy and purchase ammunition, might get in the wrong hands, right? Okay, all right. And suggest arguments. Okay, so we kind of already talked about that. All right, so purchasing ammunition. All right, go ahead.
So I believe crime and giving healthcare to the homeless poor, like giving them the opportunity to have healthcare.
Okay, so healthcare, I'll just keep it up with Jeffrey's then. So yours was very similar. And we already kind of went through that. And that works then. That works. Okay, Nathaniel, go ahead. I think that's fine. No. What's that? Raise it. Okay. To what? All right, so not 18 anymore. Are you gonna say like 21? Same age as drinking? And you're just saying because people aren't really that mature at that age at 18. 21, that works. Okay. All right. So you think this is important because people are more informed about the government, maybe they have better decisions, rational thinking of the government, how it works. And do you think there maybe has to be a test to vote?
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying okay. All right. Why is that?
Well, like,
For people to make more informed decisions?
you either be like 21 to vote, or like you can take a test.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So you're saying 21 is the age, but if you want to vote at a younger age, you got to take an exam. Take like a citizenship test, maybe, or something on basic government. Okay. Wow. So what kind of criticism will you get for that?
People would have to not like
Yeah, probably not. And a lot of that has to do because of power control, right? Some political parties definitely want to make sure that they can get more voters out there no matter what decision making. And you're just trying to make sure you can eliminate on emotional responses, right? You just want well-informed decision making, not just based off solely off emotion and maybe lack of understanding. All right, good. Or conformity, right? Look at that, Taylor. Man, so, huh? All right, good job, good job. And then what arguments are you going to come up with some of the criticism? Kind of explained it already that you're saying you're going to have a more well-informed people voting and having decision making on who's elected as president or public official. All right, Nathaniel, good job. Go ahead, Jamie.
I said lower the drinking age.
Oh, okay, that's right. You did say that yesterday. Okay, what are you thinking?
I said like less teenagers and people under 21 would stop getting charged for underage drinking, so we focus on more serious cases.
Okay,
And just young people having fun.
all right. So you're saying if they're presented at with it at a lower age, then maybe DUIs will go down,
Yeah.
maybe public intoxications will go down, some of the crimes related to alcohol.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good example.
And I said some people would be upset because like some parents are like against it, but like I feel like it should be the parents' choice, like if they're allowed to or not. And young people might take advantage of it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that definitely could happen. So if you lower the age, then people that are younger age than that, then are probably going to dive into this drinking alcohol, maybe. So are you proposing 18?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you can vote. You're an adult, serving the military at 18, so why not, right?
Literally.
Okay. If you're going to maybe give your life overseas, and why not have the ability to drink?
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So those are some arguments that you can maybe come up with
Yeah.
when trying to back your topic. And other countries around the world, let's face it, some of the drinking ages are lower to 18.
Yeah, and I also said that like they would probably get in less trouble if they would like stop going behind adults' backs to do it.
Oh.
So you get in more dangerous situations when you do that.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just straight up.
Yeah, usually when you're trying to hide something from someone, then eventually that will just compile and get worse and worse.
Mhm.
All right, good job. Lowering the drinking age. Okay, Brock, let's hear it.
I said about putting a spending limit on shooting things.
Oh, okay, there you go. Why is, okay, so why are you proposing this?
I said that allow for a sympathetic candidate to be able to run for the position if they don't like to have dollars for it.
Yeah, exactly, right? So if you're gonna have someone, a candidate that's just dumping millions and millions of dollars in your campaign, it might be uneven, right? It might be unequal. It might allow for the competition to be swayed in one way. And it might not give an opportunity for someone, let's say, that just can't afford a campaign. They might have the great ideas and be a great leader and show these qualities, but without the backing, without the funding, it's a little tough, right? Okay, good job. So why do you believe this is important? Kind of already described that. What opposition do you expect?
People probably want to use the money. Take out the
Yeah, yeah, good job. I mean, money talks, right? And especially when it comes to when you're looking for leadership roles, and it obviously is of a great benefit to many different things. And if you have the money, why not use it for your campaign? If this is something that you're really trying to dive into and get involved in, then why not utilize it to your advantage? All right. So, what arguments could be used to reply to this criticism? Yeah, yeah. We're going to look for the best candidates. Okay. And this might allow for some independent parties or third parties to have an opportunity. Yeah, good job. I like that. Good work. Okay, Cannon. Voting age of 17. Okay. So raise the voting age, lower voting age. Okay. You and Nathaniel can fight that one out then, huh? All right. So why is that? Okay, you might get more participation into politics, right? Some cases you don't want it too cutthroat, that's for sure, right? But at the same time, this might interest more people to get involved at a younger age in politics and understand how the government works and realize what their voice can do and how it can obviously benefit for society. Okay, good. What criticisms might you get? What opposition? Yeah, good job. It's like, oh well, what the heck? They haven't had the proper education or schooling of it, and kind of contradicts what Nathaniel said about the voting age. It's like, oh, we need well-informed decision making. We just can't have, let's say, children, especially like at the younger age, be persuaded by their parents, maybe, or by a group, or a friendship, or peers. Who knows? All right, good job. And how would you try to reply against that? It's kind of what you're for, I guess, right? How you're saying that we want to get the younger generations more involved in politics and government, and how really it works, and how they're saying government really does matter. A lot of times when you're in school or you're younger age, it's like, what do I matter, right? How does my decision affect anything? That really goes a long way. All right, good job, Cannon. Good job. All right, Madden, let's hear it. I guess you just came up with it, 6th period, 7th period, huh? Huh? Are you kidding? You weren't listening to Milgram experiment?
I was.
No, I didn't. These are discoveries that
You hear this, Brock? I guess the Milgram experiment's not important. All right, go ahead, man.
my method is that the Amish have their own roads on the side.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I live by how much I agree.
separate roads for Amish? Okay. All right, so why are you bringing this amendment up? Why are you proposing this?
I believe this amendment is to save the reasons for citizens driving cars and the Amish themselves. In my own personal experience, I drive through grass where there's a lot of curves, and when I went around a curve, you get close to sometimes. And on the major highways, when cars try to pass through the no passing zone,
Yeah. So it definitely could maybe increase issues on the road or impacts or collisions. Okay. And I know a lot of times I'm always getting stuck behind the hump. Like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And it almost pushes you to be a reckless driver, right? You want to pass them, you shouldn't just cross the yellow line, but in certain cases, it's like I can't just sit behind this the whole way. This is going to be ridiculous, and someone could get really harmed or injured. All right, so you're suggesting a separate road. All right, so what criticisms might you get?
Someone might say that is useless because maybe they don't live in the area like I do and they didn't have a first-hand experience with almost anything.
Okay, so perspective, right?
Another argument against that is that the buggies, like you could like argue against it is that you could say that the buggies slow you down and if you just can't pass them safely.
Okay, all right. Well, how would you create these separate roads?
The action that needs to be taken is to make the Amish pay taxes. The
Oh.
government would use this money to pay small side roads for them to protect the Amish people.
All right, so they do pay some taxes, but you're saying increasing their taxes for roads. Okay, all right, so if they're going to utilize it, then increase them. Wow, okay, all right. So what arguments might you get from that?
That the Amish don't want.
They're going to be a little upset, right? Yeah, you might see a decrease in some of the markets around here, some of the businesses, because you're trying to pile up taxes for them. Build new roads. Oh, man. Okay. All righty. I'm going to get rid of these question marks. Just because we kind of understand. It's like 18 below, 21 above, maybe. All right. Good job. Chase, go ahead.
So I also did the legal drinking.
Okay. All right. So you said 18 as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So we kind of went over that one already. We're just going to move on. Rem.
I said about security guards in schools.
Oh, all right. So making a requirement.
Yeah. It will stop all of that stuff from happening in schools and it can also give people a job opportunity if they don't have.
Okay. All right. So maybe veterans, right, who are coming home, this will give them an opportunity for a job and something that they can do and obviously have some sort of pride in that, obviously. Okay. They're protecting the community, protecting the kids coming to school. And yeah, with violence, gun violence in schools and, school shootings obviously being, I mean, it's really never going to go away. It's unfortunate. It's terrible to say, but it's true. Maybe if we can increase the security in schools, that would be great. Yeah, we can offer a job for some other individuals. Good. All right. So what kind of criticisms might you get from this proposed amendment? It's really hard to do that, I guess, right? It's really hard to criticize this.
It could scare the kids.
Okay.
If they're hearing that the gun or something, it taser, it could scare the kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fortunate, right? It's nice walking around our hallways, really not having to worry about that. But you never know when it could happen. And just having or seeing that security guard might, in some cases, might alter their response to seeing a gun, right? Seeing that they need protection there. It's like, oh, well, is it unsafe? Why do we need a guard, right? And maybe some people might have issues with guns and maybe had violence in the past, right?
Yeah, that'd be good explanation. One just thought of this, that I could add.
Okay.
Say there's like a school shooter and kids hear one gunshot and then they hear another, they think that there's more shooters in the building.
Okay. All right. So you're saying that there needs to be some sort of a communication system amongst the security guards and maybe some of the teachers that are kind of housing the students in the classrooms. All right. So maybe increasing that. All right. What other criticisms could you get? It's going to cost some money, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be another position, but at the same time, I mean, for protection, can't really say no to that, I guess. All right. Yeah. All right. It's a good one. So maybe the state can fund the bill for that. Yeah, maybe not rely too much on the local school districts, more just on the state.
They could also keep the kids in, like, the classroom, except for the playground.
Okay, yeah, keep you from wandering the hallways. That actually be good. Let's do it.
Throwing yourself on the-
Wow, wow, you're throwing yourself under the bus here.
I mean, it's a good idea.
All right, that's a good one. All right, Terrence.
Mine was that the government should donate money every year to like food shelters to feed people.
So the government is it state, national, what do we think, local? All?
Um,
Okay. Government to donate to charities? So let's say there's a surplus in funding, right? And let's say taxes over some time, maybe we're going through a stimulated economy, right? Let's saying we're seeing some good times here. Maybe we can donate that surplus to charities. That's a good response. I like that. I like that. Maybe sometimes you might not ever see actually if we do have a surplus or not. I think in the 80s, late 90s, or sorry, early 90s, late 80s, we actually did see not a stimulus check, but actually a little bit more money from the government where it's actually sent to the people. And it was pretty cool. And especially during the Cold War, it's like, whoa, where'd all this cash come? Well, we actually took too much. So you're getting some of your money back. You don't see that too often. But yeah, so you're saying if there's a exceeding the funds, let's give it to charity. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. All right, good. So what type of criticisms might you get from this?
That the people want the money and not give it to charities.
All right, yeah, so some people were saying we can maybe use this for our own, individualistic idea, right? We can use this for our own property or house or our own use. What else? Maybe with that extra funding, they could push it towards the military or a different type of other public services rather than charities. Okay, all right. And yeah, good work. Good work. Tanner, what are you thinking?
I'm proposing an amendment that will allocate fossil fuel use.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're thinking more of a green future, right? Let's just put green future down. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that it's needed because as our country grows even more, so does climate change, and over time, as Americans, we won't have a clean environment to live in.
All right. Okay. All right. So you're proposing maybe, is this going to be overnight? Is this going to be something that you do like a snap of the fingers?
Gradual over like 20, 30 years.
Okay. So you're seeing like a timeline then. So like, hey, after 10 years, we should reach this emissions or reduction in emissions, right? And then after 20 years, let's reach 50% decrease of what we're utilizing today. And then the way you can do that is just investing a lot more, clean energy, right? That's a good one. I like that. So what criticisms might you get from this?
Certain industries might.
Hey
fail
guys, stay
and
quiet, please.
Certain industries might fail and there might not be enough energy for everybody.
Yeah, a lot of businesses, a lot of industries are relying on fossil fuels. And if you just change that overnight, then yeah, that's going to cause some issues. And you might see a recession, right? And you might see increased goods and prices and resource, and products. Yeah, you might see people lose some jobs. Okay, increased unemployment. There's a lot of it, right? But if you do it gradually over time, then maybe you could solve some of those issues and see a benefit in different sectors. All right, good, good. So what were you going to say to combat against that?
So for the industry failure, up in Sweden, earlier this year, they actually shipped their first load of green energy. Well, they used clean energy to make steel. So if we implement that into like our steel industry, we could keep exporting steel while not using fossil fuels. And then for not enough energy for the people, you could take about 100 by 100 mile section of land in like Texas or the Midwest and just put solar panels down, and that could power the whole US.
Yeah, yeah. So with solar panels, there's a lot of research on that, especially with some of this unwanted land, like this land that you really can't use out of it. Okay, you can utilize solar panels to power a majority of some of these larger cities. Okay, China especially, I know there's a lot of land that you really can't utilize, and they're starting to invest a lot of time and effort, money, and funding into putting solar panels along these areas that you just can't really utilize the land with agriculture or maybe industrialization. Okay, so they're going to power a lot of their cities through these solar panels. Okay, that's a good idea. It's a good idea, but you might take away from certain land, I guess, right? All right, good. And how would you reply to that? I mean, you kind of already described it all. You kind of said how you're going to gradually change over time. You just can't do it with snap of the finger. That's going to cause a lot of issues, maybe a recession. And at the same time, we're trying to clean up our environment. Good work. Good work. All right, Angel, you have this finished up.
Mine was the-
What's that?
mine was the lower the burden.
Lower it? Okay, we kind of went through that one already. All right, is there any questions on that, guys? What's up, Ron?
I don't have a question, but my house is surrounded, like the whole front of my house is all field. They're talking about putting a whole, like taking out all those fields, which are gonna destroy the crops around my house. And putting all solar panels, stuff like that. It's gonna destroy the crops and stuff.
All right, yeah, so that's definitely a concern. It's like, okay, some private land could be altered by this and consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, that's some issues that could arise if we maybe go to this route. Yeah. Okay. Good job. All right. So propose an amendment. I'm going to give everybody a grade here. I'll have that in probably by the end of the day. Just a reminder, amendment quiz tomorrow. So look over them. You definitely have enough research on them over the past, week, really, with these assignments, these activities. I thought this one was fun. I thought this was something maybe we could think about and obviously have an idea of how we can better the US. All right, there we go. There we go.